Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. Feedback Friday, episode number 83. Damian Nelson alongside David Hero. And the question is this, David.
Yeah.
She has not responded to texts. She has not returned my phone calls.
Well,
she has not been seen in 2 days.
Can we be honest?
Where is Linda Kay?
She's been suspended.
By whom?
By the people that run this place.
That's me.
They played back the audio of the threats that she gave towards me, and they played them backwards. And they played them backwards because no one could understand what she was saying.
I did.
So you know, like when you play certain rock music backwards, you can hear.
That's
Satan,
a myth, but yes, I've heard
Satan
that.
Speaking.
I've heard that fake news.
You should have heard what Satan was speaking out of Linda Kay's mouth.
What was said?
She was threatening my life. She threatened me.
And what evidence exists of this?
Oh, it's on the tilapia tapes. It's everywhere.
She is not suspended. And even if she, that's the question. Exactly. What have you done to her?
No. Listen, as much as she likes restraints, I did not put her anywhere.
We hope Linda is back with us again here next week. She's not suspended.
The people
they absolutely do. It doesn't matter.
Why?
You know, because I know what they want more than they know what they want.
Just because you get a little action on the side doesn't
I'm sorry?
mean...
I do play side bets when I play blackjack.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's where the money is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, just because you're happy doesn't mean we all got to be happy.
Actually, it's the most important thing for me to be happy here on this show.
I'm happy because Linda's not here this week.
Pure evil.
I mean, seriously. I mean,
I'm being serious.
What's the benefit? Yeah, she smells like cotton candy. You know, and there's usually,
the benefit is I don't have to just sit next to you and be completely irritated and annoyed for the 30 minutes of Feedback Friday because of your drifting and your inattentiveness to the program. She cares, David Hero.
Well, most women do. They're wired that they're supposed to care. They're supposed to be nurturing.
Let's get right down to it. Yesterday on Prime Time, we did bring you the first half, the main events, if you will, for Feedback for Backlash, which is Sunday on pay-per-view. And
make them watch it. Make them watch it. Don't.
Well, they can see it now. I mean, it's right there. Or is this fake news as well?
Well,
I mean, it's right there.
You could have blurred all this out.
We don't have to know.
Just go like this.
We need that.
But now they can't see.
Folks, remaining matchups that we didn't talk about yesterday on Primetime, it is a kendo stick on a pole match. Alexa Bliss taking on Bayley. Alexa's championship on the line. You get the stick, you get to use the stick.
Weird. It's a weird stipulation for the girls. I'm sorry.
Has there ever been a female women's kendo stick on a pole match in WCW? And is this the first one in WWE?
Why does it gotta? I mean, there's other things they could have used besides a kendo stick.
Yes. I mean, it was good what they did on Raw Monday night using the stick.
You like that, Bayley? This is your life segment?
It was brutal, but I think the ending was good. Bayley showed a little bit of aggression going into the Extreme Rules matchup, which I think she needed to do.
Okay.
It was a love connection.
Here's my problem. Here's what's going to happen.
I know your problem.
Here's what's going to happen Sunday. They're in Baltimore,
Maryland.
Home of the Gata, Monique Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be there. You watch. She'll be in the front row. Bayley's music going to hit. Those inflatable trees, whatever they are.
Wind seekers, I think.
She's going to come out and high five everybody, hug everybody, when she should be focusing on getting that freaking kendo stick and beating someone's ass with it.
Mm-hmm.
She's way too happy for someone that always gets beat up. She doesn't have the mental toughness to do it. Alexa Bliss is the HBIC.
Which means what?
It's like an air conditioning thing. HVAC, I think that's what it is. I said HVAC. I don't know where your head was. Stop it. You're trying to get me in trouble because your girlfriend's not here this week. But Alexa Bliss if she gets it, Bayley's done.
Done? What do you mean by done?
She can't come back from that. You know, she can't. I mean, let's face it. Okay. NXT is a niche market.
Yes.
Okay. We saw a lot of grown men wearing Bayley t-shirts that say I'm a hugger.
Uh-huh.
Driving white cargo vans. All right? It's not translating well to the Raw audience. Alexa Bliss, she translates really well to the Raw audience.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go with Alexa Bliss. The Bayley thing is done. She needs to come back. You know what? She needs to come back as like an emo character. Maybe that might work. No one's buying it anymore. No one's buying Rainbow Bright. She is the Hulk Hogan of this generation, and the fans don't want it anymore.
Alexa Bliss retains, you say?
Yeah, that's all you got out of the.
I really, this match, I love Alexa Bliss. This match, I could care less. I could care less about this match.
Who wants to see two women beating each other up with a stick?
Aren't there certain websites you can go to see that?
Yes, and you don't have to pay for them. Well, the PWR Amex covers that stuff. It's freaking awesome.
Richie Swann will team up with Sasha Banks to take on Noam Dar and Alicia Fox.
Pre-show?
Feels like it should be, doesn't it?
Yeah. You got to go with Sasha and Swann, just because.
Not your girl Foxy?
You know what? I love Foxy, always will, but
With the blue heart.
they're phasing her out.
Really?
They slowly are.
What do you mean? She's had her best
She's
couple,
been there
last
for
few
what,
weeks
like
in
10 or 11 years?
10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Phasing her out.
Slowly they will. They're going to use her to get some other talents over. She should get one more run for the women's title, but she's too busy with this joker down here, Noam Dar.
It's her boyfriend. Is that why? Oh, that's why you can't, but you have jealousy issues.
Yeah. Yes.
Folks, it will be a submission match for the Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Austin Aries will take on Neville.
It's the 205 Live Championship.
And this is interesting.
Yeah.
The two have made it this far, and now the end of their story might be the submission match at Extreme Rules. What do you think?
They both have great finishers. They both have great submissions. They're both excellent in-ring ring generals that can go.
Yeah.
They can fight and they can flip. They can.
Can they dive?
Well, yeah.
How about elbow drops? Good with those?
Aries has an amazing elbow drop. And he has a book that just came out.
He does,
Food Fight,
yes.
all about vegan eating. Mm-hmm. Saw his action figures out now.
Do you know most vegans are B12 deficient? Vitamin B12 deficient?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
You're not a vegan either.
That's what I said. I'm not. So, but it's a submission match. And you know what? Every week, Neville gets better and better and stronger and more dominant. And they keep talking about how TJP is owed a title shot from Neville for being his lackey.
Yeah?
It's kind of like they're giving away something. I hate to say it because Austin Aries is Milwaukee homegrown, but Neville's going to make Double A do the tap.
Interesting. Well, let's take a look at Extreme Rules in its entirety as you would book it, David Hero.
Yes.
Firstly, you would have The Miz walk out as the Intercontinental Champion, defeating Dean Ambrose.
Yes, I would.
And the Hardy Boys losing the Tag Team Championships to Cesaro and Sheamus.
I hate to see it. I do. But if they're going to do anything broken with the Hardys, now is when they start to implement it.
Something has to break them.
Yes.
Interesting. And the five-way Extreme Rules #1 contender match. Bray Wyatt walks out with the win, according to you. And Alexa Bliss wins the kendo stick in a pole match. Richie Swann, and Sasha Banks. Swann and Sasha. What can you do with that name? Sasha Swann? Szechuan? Isn't that some kind of beef?
No, that's
Szechuan?
No, that's a Chinese spice. Szechuan chicken. Oh, that's hilarious.
How so?
Because it makes sense.
How does it make sense?
It does.
And Neville retains his championship over Austin Aries. That is Extreme Rules. It is this Sunday on the WWE Network. We will be live tweeting during the show and carrying along. You're going to end up in Baltimore, though, to see this show? You ended up at Backlash randomly.
Maybe. I'm still working out details.
Right. Sure you are. That is Be the Booker. That is Be the Booker, ladies and gentlemen. Still to come here on Feedback Friday, we've got the results of your version of the PWR Fantasy Draft, the fan version of the Fantasy Draft. We've got the results, the leaderboard, if you will, the top 5 in that draft. And also, we've got your comments. Feedback Friday continues right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. Feedback Friday, episode number 83. The second show of June.
This week, just so you know.
And what does that mean?
Mind your own business. That's what Linda Kay needs to do more often. Mind her own business.
I did try to reach out to Linda during the break.
She has short arms. Must have really had to reach hard.
No matter what you try to do, Linda is the host of this show, and she will be back next week, sitting here in this chair again.
What does she really? Besides, though, what does she bring to the show?
What do you bring to the show?
Oh, knowledge and wisdom and wit and charisma. Seriously.
Let's get to your comments,
These
folks.
questions are all coming to me.
In fact, actually, before we get to your comments,
you tell you what. How about if Linda's back next week?
She will be.
How about the super friends out there? Why don't they submit questions for Linda to answer?
I have no faith in any type of voting system whatsoever after November 2016.
Well, it's not a voting system, it's questions.
It's still a voting
And if
system.
she's
What
as
do
smart as
you do with the
think
data?
she can answer the questions.
They don't know her. They don't know. They don't make the decisions. Hell, if I'm going to vote anything, I'd vote for
What
whether
are
it
we
be
voting
you on
for?
this show or Meathead on this show. Because after I watched that segment back last week, I actually did thoroughly enjoy him being
You
here.
know what bothered me about Meathead is once Linda went ninja mode, how quickly he bailed on me. Like a scared little, like a scared little puppy dog.
Let's go over the results, folks, of the fan draft, the PWR fantasy draft that you, the fans, are participating in out there. As you know, our own draft, the one where I will be defeating him. Points were accumulated at Backlash, will accumulate again this weekend at Extreme Rules. And unfortunately, somehow or another, the Super Friends are in the lead with 240 points to the 150 points
this weekend.
of the... actually, you know what? That's not accurate.
How many more points will Bray Wyatt get this week when he wins the big five-way? What bonus points will he get? Another 50?
There are no bonus points for winning that. It's a specialty
Why
match.
not?
You'll get the 10 points I think there is for a specialty match. But when I win twice in the Money in the Bank at SmackDown's pay-per-view, because I've got Charlotte who's going to win.
I have one chick on my team.
Yes. That's a bonus 75 points. So there she cashes in. It's another bonus 75 points. It's strategy,
Well,
David.
I'm hoping that Apollo Crews gets hurt because that dude can't get on.
You're hoping he gets hurt.
Yeah, he sucks on my team.
Folks, your results are in, and let's take it to the leaderboard and show you how well you did at Backlash last Sunday, or 2 weeks ago, rather, on the WWE Network. And are you ready, David Hero?
By the way.
You were there. I did hear that. Yeah. We've got our top five, and a lot of you did a very good job. And let's go from the bottom to the top. Actually, it's our top four groups, and it's a tie for fourth place, David Hero, between four people.
Well, there's actually a tie for third place also.
Yeah, but we're not to that yet. Because we're talking about fourth place, we're going from the bottom to the top. And then
Why
fourth
would you
place.
go from the bottom to the top?
Because you don't want to reveal the winner right away. It's like when they announce the runners-up from the Miss America pageant, and then they announce
But they screw that
whoever's
up
left.
anyhow.
And I'm not going to screw this up.
Okay,
so
go
fourth
ahead.
place, Dylan Anglade, Soheeb A, Jahudal Islam, and Glenn Matthews are all tied for fourth place with 200 points each.
I want to piss off that third guy.
And tied for third place, ladies and gentlemen, it's between two people. The Hawk's Nest, team of the Hawk's Nest, and Eric Braley with 215 points. A participant by the name of Quentin is in second place with
he's a driver?
240 points. I'm sorry?
Sounds like a butler.
How does a person sound like a butler? I mean, if I hear the name Benson, perhaps I think about
You
a
don't
butler.
think Quentin?
No.
It sounds very butlerish.
And the winner
I would
and the
hire
person
Quentin.
in first place in the PWR Fan Fantasy Draft is a user whose team is called Arsenal and Wrestling with 245
Guns and
points.
ammo?
245 points ahead of, well, not ahead of you, but remember they're an event behind because, yes, they are, because Payback did not count in the fan draft. So, and they're not competing against us. You're not competing against us. You're competing
one's
against
competing against me.
each other. And I want to
I'm
thank all of you
way
for
ahead of
sending in your data, sending in your scores. Remember, after Extreme Rules on Sunday, send your results to draft@pwrshow.com. Your total score along with your individual points for each of your talents. We will confirm those numbers and then have the results for you on a subsequent edition of Feedback Friday. So congratulations to Arsenal and Wrestling in first place in the PWR Fan Fantasy Draft.
Yes.
With that, let's go to some of your comments from last week, ladies and gentlemen, last week's broadcast. And the first one comes from, well, another Quentin, David Hero, Quentin Classic in this case, who says, The Miz is a strong company guy.
Wait, pump the brakes. Start from the beginning.
I agree with both Dave and Damien.
No, but you added the and Damien. I agree.
I didn't add that at all. It's typed right here. That's why we need Linda here, is because she can read these.
Read.
She's proven that she can read over the course of the last several weeks right here on this program.
Have you seen her try?
The Miz is a strong company guy. He can talk, walk, and deliver. He does what a superstar is supposed to. Puts asses in seats. He can talk you into a stadium and make you buy a ticket. While his match with Cena at WrestleMania left a bit more to be desired, the build-up to it was absolutely awesome, pun intended. Right now, there's no one who tells a story better than The Miz, both on the mic and in the ring. Love it or hate it, he's this generation's Roddy Piper.
I never said that either.
I said he was this generation's Ric Flair.
He's not Piper. Piper is such a good antagonist, and he was so good at what he did. He could talk people into buying tickets. I don't think anyone's bought a ticket except for you to see The Miz.
You don't believe that.
No one tells.
You don't believe that at all.
No one has ever once told me I am going to Raw or SmackDown or WrestleMania to see The Miz.
More people have bought a ticket to see The Miz than have to see Baron Corbin.
Well, of course. The Miz has been on for 10, 11 years.
Quentin, I don't know about Roddy Piper, but as I said, I continue to say Miz is excellent. All the points you made I agree with, except I think he is more so this generation's Ric Flair, today's Ric Flair, than anyone else. Let's go to our next comment, which comes to us from a user by the name of Dean Shield. Dean says, and this is reference to our conversation about who should and should not be in the cruiserweight division in WWE. Remember last week you were trying to put Finn Balor and Seth Rollins and everybody else into the cruiserweight division?
They should be. If you're going according to weight, they should not be in the main roster like that.
And here's the comment from Dean Shield, who says, guys like Neville, Aries, Spanky. Who's Spanky?
Brian Kendrick.
Spanky?
He used to be Spanky.
Why don't I remember that?
I don't know. You should
know. In WWE, he was
Spanky?
Spanky?
How do you not know a guy named Spanky? That's weird.
I'm not into that. He was Spanky how?
What's his gimmick?
I don't remember that at all. It's probably a good thing. And maybe one more 205 guy could fight outside of the cruiserweight division and be believable.
Stop. Do they call it the Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world?
The cruiserweight or the Raw champion?
The Universal.
It's the Universal. It's the Raw. It's the Universal Championship. There's no heavyweight in it.
Oh, that's how they get by with this then. That's how Finn Balor became, because obviously he's not a heavyweight, so they couldn't call it that.
Personally, it made no sense they didn't have Kalisto on Raw and with Sin Cara to be a part of the division in the first place.
That's typecasting.
Now I agree with David some. If we based it off the size and weight of WCW's cruiserweight division, you could throw in Seth Rollins, Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, or even Finn Balor. Look, the guys are much smaller in the WWE from the top stars in the WWE or most of the people in NXT, and that's a reality in 2017. If you look at New Japan, Impact, and Ring of Honor, etc., you can't name 20 to 25 guys still in their prime, built like a Harper, a Ryback, a Cesaro, or an Abyss. So I think the point, well said, Dean, by the way, there just aren't a lot of big guys anymore,
you know
so those big guys stand out so much more.
Where the talent's getting smaller. Football, the guys are getting bigger, faster, stronger. Basketball, bigger, faster, stronger. Baseball, bigger, faster, stronger. Wrestling, they're just getting faster. They're not getting bigger.
Is it a bad thing?
Yeah. You need some giants once in a while. You do. That's always been the marquee.
Thank you for that comment, Dean Shield. Let's now go to our next comment and our final comment, which comes to us from a YouTube user by the name of Alpha Proto. Alpha Proto, David Hero. This is talking about possibilities with Roman Reigns. He says, if Roman Reigns channeled his inner Neville or Big Daddy Cool, he would be awesome. An annoyed, irritated, grumpy guy who just mows people down. Could be something to that.
I wish they would do that with him. And they started doing that with him.
Yeah?
They did. When he was just the guy, he was grumpy.
Yes? Was he grumpy enough, though?
Well, he ran into Braun Strowman. That kind of derailed everything.
What do you mean, when he took Braun Strowman out for 6 to 8 months?
Well,
weeks?
But before that, though, when he got flipped in the ambulance.
Ah, yes,
In the ambulance. Ambulance?
I believe you said it properly the first time.
How do you say it?
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
Not ambulant?
Are you trying to read it on the front of the ambulance?
That's what I thought you said.
Ambulance, yes.
Yeah. Why is it spelled like that? I thought it's ambulance.
So you can see it in your rearview mirror and it says ambulance when you look at it backwards, David Hero. You know, like the way you accuse Linda of talking in some devilish way.
You've heard her.
I've heard her speak.
And you can decipher it?
I find it very, very disturbing.
It was. It was disgusting.
That you sit here and you are criticizing her for her native language.
No, I'm
that
not.
she was speaking. Yes,
I'm
you are.
her for threatening me in her native language.
She didn't do
That's
that.
not the kind of tongue we
She
were
didn't do
expecting.
that. She did not do that, though.
She did. You didn't hear it?
I heard it.
You played it backwards.
I put it into Google, and I got something complete. No, I did it forward, but I got something completely different than what you're alleging was said.
Play it backwards.
Folks, that's this week's edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday.
Trying to pigeonhole me into something here. I don't like it.
We thank all of you for joining us, and we'll be back with you again Sunday after Extreme Rules on PWRshow.com. It'll be Meathead and Matthew Thomas with Reaction, taking your live phone calls and giving you the opportunity to talk about the show that just was. That's on Sunday, followed by another one on Monday from those two,
almighty.
and then we're back with you again here next week for Prime Time and Feedback Friday. So, for that one, and the returning next week, Linda Kay, Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you then.